Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. Today we have a special treat for you. It's not a new tool day, it's a brand new product day. This is actually so new it's not even for sale yet. Hasn't even been released yet. So this is a pre-release sneak peek at what is to come. This crowd contacted me, asked me if I wanted to do a quick review video on it before its actual release, see what I thought of it. Plus gives you a chance to actually get a sneak peek at it as well. Now, when I actually saw what the product was, I definitely wanted to have a look at it. This, for me, is a brilliant idea, especially for me doing repairs, and you'll understand why in a minute. Now, like I say, it's not actually for sale yet. It's not going to be on the market until mid-May, apparently, at the earliest, so you can't actually get it just yet. But they are running a special crowdfunding program at the minute, pre-release. So if you join the crowdfunding program, you actually get a discount whenever they come on the market. Plus, you get first dibs when it is released. So this is just a wee preview to see what it's like. What do you see this thing? This is just a game changer as far as I'm concerned. It's right up my alley. Forget all these for now. To start with, this is all we want to look at, and we'll also pick one of these as well. This is a new product from Ceenr. This is the PDnation all-in-one battery system. So you've seen different battery systems before. You've got your main brands, they're original batteries. You've also got copy batteries that you can buy. Works out a bit cheaper. Now we're getting into battery adapters, which are a great idea. So you can use different batteries with different tools. So if you've got a Milwaukee tool and you want to add on a Makita drill, you can buy an adapter to take the Milwaukee batteries and put them into the Makita drill. Good concept, handy system. This is way better. These are an all-in-one battery system. So instead of having main brand batteries and battery adapters, this is an all-in-one system. They're using their PDnation battery that attaches to their adapters, so you can fit your battery to any tool. Check this out. This here really is, it's just a brilliant idea as far as I'm concerned. Now, I've already had this out because I have been using it already. Obviously, me being me, mad into tools, tool mad, thinking tools all day, I wasn't going to be able to wait to test this thing out. This is their brand new concept 18 volt or 20 volt max battery system. So this is the actual battery pack. And you take this and you marry it up to these. So instead of having adapters that you have to buy batteries for to fit your tools, you can buy this battery system and you can just use this battery to power all your tools. A lot of you are probably surprised to see that. A Milwaukee tool of mine in the workshop. But it goes to show old tools were built well. So you can convert it onto Milwaukee and everything else. So you've got your Makita, Bosch, DeWalt, Craftsman. These are the ones I'm going to look at for now. Then you also have Porter cable, Quirks, Blackandde, Einhell, and your Craftsman. All the different adapters needed that fits onto this PDnation battery. Now, obviously we're not going to go through all of them, but we'll set them there for now. That to me is just a brilliant idea, and I'm surprised nobody has actually come up with it yet. Everybody is starting to go on to different battery platforms and different tools. No one brand makes all good tools. I know I like Makita stuff, and it's mainly Makita stuff I have now, but still, even Makita, there's certain things that they're just not good at. You want a nail gun, you're going to go Hikoki, DeWalt, Milwaukee. password as well if you want the gas. You're not going to go with a Makita nail gun. They're just not that great. DeWalt, very good platform for a lot of different stuff. A lot of people bought onto the DeWalt because of the nail guns whenever they first came out. Cordless nail guns, didn't need gas, there was big savings on that. While a lot of people started getting into the DeWalt stuff, but then started changing away from them. Simply because Hikoki and Milwaukee guns are that much more powerful now and don't have the same problems and don't need the same maintenance to keep them going. So while a lot of people are getting away from the DeWalt guns and get into Hikoki or Milwaukee. Milwaukee then, good and powerful, but they just don't have the last. Bosch, really good tools, but just not the massive range, and they haven't kept up with the brushless technology as the rest have. So all in all, none of them are perfect at anything. So one platform isn't going to give you everything you need, top of the range. It's better to have a mixture of all, but having a mixture means more batteries, more chargers, more money. That is where something like this comes on very, very useful. One battery, different adapters, fits all the tools. That is just a fantastic idea, and that is going to do well. That there, to me, is a game changer. For me in the workshop, brilliant. One of the biggest disadvantages of doing tool repairs is when you get something in completely different. Big problem I get in the workshop is whenever somebody sends in a tool without a battery. Now for the main brands, it's not so bad. I now have them batteries, have my own spare ones here as well in this workshop. But still, for other brands, smaller ones that you don't see as often, the customer doesn't send in a battery, you can't test it. And if you're not getting that particular brand done quite often, you're not going to invest in a new battery yourself just for testing tools. It's too much extra money, plus you have to buy a charger as well to charge that battery. It can just become very expensive. The likes of this, for me especially, brilliant. One battery, one buy, with 9 adapters to fit 9 different brands of tools. Massive saving in money. Battery's always there when you need it. Now, battery itself. So you end up with one battery and one battery system for everything. What's the actual battery like? To be honest, not bad. Build quality ain't bad. And as you can see, she takes a bit of a beating. I was up giving a hand at Donegal Shepherd Huts at the weekend, putting on tech screws, putting on a tin roof. Whenever I'm in an awkward spot, I have a habit of holding the tech and give it a head of it a slap to get it dug into the tin so it doesn't slip as easily. So I was actually giving this a wee bit of a beating, and she stands up quite well, to be honest. It's quite good plastic. It's not thin. It's well made. It's quite solid. But on top of it, here's your battery indicator down here. And then you get 2 ports. Well, the main advantages of this, no charger. You don't need a separate charger for this. You charge this with a USB-C charger. So you don't need a big expensive charger. You just need a cable that everybody already has for their phones. On top of that again, you also have a USB port. So you can actually use this as a battery bank. If you're not using it with tools, you can actually charge other things with it as well. That being a tablet, phone, torches, whatever. And also the USB-C port is actually dual action. So you can charge the battery pack with this, but also charge other things with it as well. So you can actually plug your phone into this port as well, and you'll charge your phone off this battery pack. Plenty of features on it, plenty of things you can do. Way more than the actual main brand batteries. Now the insides of it, not your standard 18 volt battery or 20 volt max, which use 18650 cells. This uses the bigger, more expensive 21700 cells. So this is your 18650. This is your 21700 cell. Much bigger, much fatter, much higher capacity. More so than that, 18650 cells, there's actually loads of them on the market now. There's loads of manufacturers making them. If you want a good one, you have to go to the expensive brands like Panasonic, Samsung and that. The only guaranteed way to get proper cells, because there's just so many on the market. It's hit or miss whether you go for the cheaper brand, if it's going to be good quality or not. 21700 cells on the other hand, not as many manufacturers actually making these. So less to choose from, and the majority of them on the market are higher quality batteries. So when someone's using these as opposed to these, you're more likely to be getting better quality batteries. In other words, better quality battery pack. So that's a massive selling point on its own. Now the other good thing about it is what you're not actually seeing. Battery protection. So most brands will have battery protection in some way. 3 or 4 different types. Either built into the tool itself, into the battery, or into the charger. Especially copy batteries, you're not getting the same protection. The battery most likely has not much protection on them. This here Ceenr battery has actually 4 systems of battery protection built into the battery itself. Doesn't rely on the tool, and it's not relying on the charger. So if there's safety concerns you have, these here are the ones to look at. So inside these Ceenr battery packs themselves, there's actually overcharge protection, over discharge, overheat, and short circuit protection. The main thing you definitely don't ever want to do with any lithium battery is overcharge it. Generally their protection is going to be in the charger itself. They've actually put it into the battery itself, so if this was to get too much charge, same as any battery, it becomes a high risk. The cells have got too much energy in them. The overcharge protection is actually built into the circuit board on this here. A very handy one for tradesmen is the over discharge protection. When you're running a tool, something like a grinder or a saw, and you're dogging it, you can actually drain the battery down past its set point, which is normally about 16 volts. Once they go below that, they no longer charge. More so, the charger will no longer recognize them. So these here actually have over discharge protection built in. If you do run them down too much, they'll shut down. Overheat protection, just about every battery will have that there. There'll be a thermistor built into it. If that gets too hot, changes resistance, the board recognizes it and won't let the battery work anymore. That's a very important piece of protection, just for obvious fire risks. You never want these things to get too hot. And then as well, short circuit protection. There'll be a weak spot on this here, just in case there is a short, to stop the batteries from going into thermal overload. If they get a short, the circuit will break and shut the battery down. Very handy, very reassuring that they've actually put plenty of protection into these. You may wonder why that's important. Now, if you've ever used the other adapters, the standard adapters, for converting a Makita to a Bosch, whatever, and you've seen them going wrong, you'll know what I'm talking about. They do work and they do their job, but the actual adapters themselves are just a set of connectors on the bottom for going to the battery down here, wired onto a set of connectors for the tool. So it's just wires connecting the tool. And especially for me, tested machines, you don't know what the problem is. If you connect in your battery to your tool, pull the trigger. If there's a short circuit in the tool, the adapter is going to get cooked itself. Also, your battery is going to get shorted out and killed. I've done it enough times, especially with the DeWalt lithium battery to convert the DeWalt in old NiCad tools. That's the main culprit for me. I've killed enough DeWalt batteries that way and have to replace enough battery adapters. These here, not the same risk because there's 4 steps of protection in it. If you were to use it in a tool and it were to short out, your battery is well protected and you're not going to set anything on fire. Literally. Short circuit protection is going to keep that safe. And if she does get too hot, the thermistor inside, the actual over temperature protection is going to kick in as well and stop the battery. But yeah, this here thing is a bloody game changer as far as I'm concerned. This is the way forward. One battery system for all tools. No matter what, it is going to have to go this way. Eventually, all the tools are going to be on one battery platform. Ceenr is just getting on there early. How nobody else has thought of that sooner, I do not know. That is a brilliant concept. One battery with a few adapters and you can run any tool you want. That's the DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, and you still got 5 more. And you've got the Bosch also. Look at that. So she is sliding on 2 tracks here, here and here, and picking up on these battery terminals. There's a separate catch at the front for locking it into place. Quick and easy, and it works. So if you're like a lot of modern tradesmen and you're running different brands of tools now, instead of investing in one particular brand that's not going to fit any other tools, you can now buy one battery that's going to fit all your tools. If you've got older tools, maybe you've got all DeWalt and you're starting to switch over to Makita, DeWalt batteries are failing, you want to go into a new system, but you still have old tools you could use. Instead of going and buying Makita batteries, you can invest in one battery system so you can still use your new tools and your old ones as well. Maybe you don't have any tools, you're just starting out, you don't know which actual brands to get into, you're completely lost in it all, but you know a couple of tools you want. Buy the battery, get the tools you actually want from whatever brand you want. You don't have to then worry about paying extra money out on batteries. Instead of constantly buying new batteries for different tools, you can buy one battery system for everything. And if you don't mind actually putting the extra money in, and you have different brands of batteries for all different tools, money is not the only downside of it. The other one is space. Once you actually start buying on different batteries, you then have extra batteries, and then you have to store them batteries, and then you need chargers for them batteries. That's when space then starts coming onto it as well. Take a look at the workshop here. This is what the battery side of things look like. Ignore the overflowing toolbox. But this is where all the batteries and chargers are kept. Different batteries for different brands. From old and new, and then some you need 2 of as well. So obviously Makitas, you need 2 of them as well because you're going to 36 volts. Milwaukee's, 2 of them too, just in case. Old DeWalt batteries, Bosch 36. Cookies, still use a fair few of those. Old Nikon 12 volt. There's no end to the amount of batteries you actually need. 12 volt Milwaukee. Old 14.4 Makita. Adapters then too also. Don't forget about them. There's just no end to the amount of different batteries you're going to need. And works as well. Handy, don't need to keep that anymore. And the ones deeper in are just older again. Old Nikon. Chargers again. More chargers. More chargers down here. And of course the regular ones are all sitting on top. Because that's the other side of it. You may need all the batteries for testing the tools. But them batteries are no good unless they're charged. So if you have the battery, you're going to need chargers as well to actually charge them up. So when you're dealing with this many brands, it starts to become quite a mess. And yes, this space could do with being optimized and organized a little bit better. But I've never got round to doing it, and that's just as good as it is for now. Now I was also using this battery at the weekend, like I say. It came, and obviously had to get stuck into it straight away, so I had to go up to the Donegal Shepherd huts to give them a wee bit of a hand, putting on the roof. So got this, stuck it in the Makita impactor, away we went. And to be able to quickly change from the wee Makita impactor, putting on tech screws, to then swap it out and put it onto a DeWalt adapter to stick into the DeWalt nail gun to put a couple more bridgings on. It's just brilliant. Don't have to go looking for extra batteries, or you don't have to go charging extra ones and waiting. You have another battery there, stick a different adapter on, stick it on the other tool and keep going. Brilliant job. End of the day then, came back home here, stuck on the Bosch adapter, stuck it on the radio, went outside, cut the lawn. I mean, brilliant like. Such a handy system. Now, one thing I did notice, there's no Hikoki. Maybe they didn't want to take on the Hikoki one just yet, because Hikoki isn't just all that simple. Hikoki and Metabo, same company, but Metabo Germany has different batteries to Hikoki. But then if you're in the States, Hikoki is actually called Metabo, but Metabo HTP, and then Metabo in the States is actually the German one, which is a different battery system. It's a bit all over the place, so maybe that's why they didn't take on the Hikoki one just yet. But hopefully they will, because I would like to see that being used in the Hikoki guns. Because the Hikoki guns, to me, are one of the best ones. And the other wee thing I did notice is the little LEDs. They seem to be staying lit with the adapters attached. So that's something you would want to watch out. Hopefully they'll address it. Once you slide it off, the LEDs go out. But once it's on there, the LEDs stay on. So something you'd want to watch. So you wouldn't want to actually use that, stick it back in the toolbox and forget about it for a month or two. Then with LEDs, they don't take much energy. You'd have to leave that a long time to actually run it down completely. But still, it's a problem with other brands as well. They short out and the LEDs stay on. They'll eventually run the battery totally flat and it'll not charge anymore. That shouldn't happen with us here, Ceenr, because there's extra protection on the battery to stop it from going under voltage. But still, you'd rather them go out after a few seconds. You shouldn't just have to take the battery adapter off to get them out. But that's a minor thing. So, as a final actual review, what do I think of these? I cannot wait to see these on the market fully and people buying them. They are a brilliant idea and a brilliant system. Just the fact of giving people more choice on what tools they can buy and not be completely tied to one battery system. That alone makes them a massive selling point. That there is brilliant. Plus, she's just a power bank as well. Even if you're not using it as a battery, you can still charge other things off it. Very handy to have about, because she is actually quite a big battery pack. The fact that it's actually using 21700 cells, that shows that they've spent the extra money and put quality batteries into this. Plus, it keeps the size down also. This is made up of 5 of these here, staggered. So it takes up less space, so it makes a nice compact battery that you can actually get up to a 4 or 5 amp battery pack in this size. So it makes a good space saving alternative. So once you go on and attach your adapter, you have it the same size as a general 18 or 20 volt max tool. And that is another thing to keep perfectly clear. 18 volt batteries written here, max 20 volts. So if you're in the States, don't be put off. 18 volts, it's not a smaller battery than what you're used to over there. We just work the battery voltage different to use. We don't let the brands actually tell us these are more powerful than what they are. 18 volts is what they normally run at when you're using the tool. In the States, they're called 20 volt max. They're not more powerful. They're not different batteries. They're not anything different. They're interchangeable. You just go by the maximum voltage. So when this battery pack is actually charged, the max charge is going to be in it is 20 volts. That's why on this and on the States, your tools are called max 20 or 20 volt max batteries. Same batteries, just different marketing. That's the only difference in it. What do I think of them? Do I recommend them? Most definitely yes. I cannot wait till everybody is buying these things and these things are on the market full time. They're a brilliant concept and they're going to be a brilliant idea. It's only a matter of time before all the brands have to stick to one battery. They're not going to be able to maintain this system at the minute. Too many batteries, too much waste. Eventually, they're going to have to go to one battery for all tools. That there is the way forward. Ceenr is just getting in there early before the brands are forced to do it themselves. That there is definitely a game changer and we're going to be seeing them a lot more. Can't wait till they're on the market. They're going to be very, very popular. I would also say at the beginning, they're going to be very hard to get. When these go on the market, they're going to be popular. So if you are looking for them and you want one, I will get onto that crowdfunding thing and see about getting a discount and getting the early bird offer to get them whenever they do come on the market. Whether it's now, whether it's later, all brands are going to have to go to one battery system at some point. Don't know when, but at least with this, you can start doing it now. The battery pack itself, very good quality. Really handy that it has the USB port for charging other things, And I love the fact that you don't need a charger for it. It's just USB-C. One lead charges the thing. That 4 amp will be charged up in 90 minutes. If you're needing batteries, you're wanting different brands, and you're looking for one battery system, check them out. Ceenr PDnation batteries. One battery with different adapters to fit any brand of tool. That is the way forward. Now I'll put a description down below and a link of where these are going to be available. I think there's 2 suppliers so far, and I'll put a link to the actual crowdfunding page as well if you want to get on that. But overall, definitely recommend these things. Check them out. The Ceenr PDnation 18 volt or 20 volt max, all on one battery system. And because I know you are all interested to know, and so am I, let's open it up and see what it's like inside.